Hey, it's Hoagie's Garage. With Eagles Nationals coming up this weekend, we thought who better than to get Tyler Drueke on the show. So tonight, we're adding one on to the winners, and this is going to be its own separate podcast. But we have Tyler Drueke, and he won the points championship at Eagle 2 years ago, I believe. He won the Eagles national race, and we'll find out a little bit more about that. And yeah, I mean, it's right around the corner. It's this weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They tech in on Thursday. It's a big weekend down there, and we'll just see how it goes. A quick thank you to all of our sponsors: Folkens Brothers Trucking, Turn 2 Lodge in Knoxville, Iowa. We have I'm drawing blanks. Mount Tabor Cabinetry out in PA. Great to have those guys on board with us. J&J Designs. Jared Jensen over there, and he's helped us with koozies and everything else, and just an absolute great guy, great family there. It's always great seeing his little guy at the racetrack. Being a part of all the racing, that's really awesome. So just really appreciate all them. And then, of course, Octane Inc. I can't thank Brett Vanderbrink enough, all the other guys there. I obviously work with Brett Vanderbrink the most, but just absolutely great. They help us out in so many different ways. We started a new group here in northwest Iowa, southwest Minnesota, called Men of Mud Creek and Rock River. And it's just a way for us to help our local community and try to, raise some money for some groups in our area. And we had our first meeting, and we raised $2,100 that night, and it went to Justice for All Ministries in Rock Valley for their transition homes that they have there. They have 2 homes that they pay mortgage on, and yeah, that's where the money went. It was just a great evening, and again, we can't thank Octane Inc. for helping Hoagie's Garage and for helping that group called Men of Mud Creek and Rock River. So when we come back, though, Tyler Drueke. All right, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, and we have Tyler Drueke. It's Drueke, right?
Yep, you got her.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
We've screwed a few up over the years.
Yeah, we're not the smartest rangers in the world, that's for sure. So, Tyler, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe what you do for work, and anything about your family you want.
Tyler Drueke from Eagle, Nebraska, 30 years old. I drive truck, I pull a grain hopper trailer every day, and I have my wife Brandy, and we have a soon-to-be 2-year-old little boy Wheelan. So we go trucking and we go racing. That's pretty much what we do.
And I like it. Your wife's name is Brandy, and your son's name is Wheelan.
Yeah.
That's a good combination right there.
Yeah, I had to do some convincing, but I never imagined that I'd be racing in the same circles as Hunter Schoenberg and his little boy. But I heard his little boy's name, and I guess I really liked it. I managed to convince my wife to name our son that. So.
Well, you got the job done, so.
Yeah, got lucky, I guess.
You bet.
So, give us a little background on yourself. When did you start racing? How did you get started?
I started in 2005. We raced junior sprints at Wavelength Raceway Park, and it actually kind of started the year before. The guy, Matt Zaw's nephew Jake, we went and drove his junior sprint the fall of 2004, and they let me test it after the races one night, and I told Mom and Dad that we're not coming back until we have our own. I was 11 years old in 2004. I turned 12 in 2005, so that's where the number comes from. But,
Okay.
I was 11 years old in 2004. I turned 12 in 2005, so that's where the number comes from. But, I was 11 years old in 2004. I turned 12 in 2005, so that's where the number comes from. But, I we started in junior sprints and climbed the ladders through all the mini sprint classes, and then we moved into 360 sprint cars in 2009 when I was 17, and then we've just been bouncing around since then. We ran 360s until locally here they kind of fizzled out a little bit, and then the 305s were kind of taking hold. So we did both for a few years, and then I've pretty much done the 305 thing. And now here lately, we're starting to dip our toe into the 410 stuff. So that's the Reader's Digest version.
That works for us.
So how many times have you raced the 305 and 410 on the same night? Because I think you've done that at Huset's, haven't you?
I did it once at Huset's this year. I think that's the only time I've done the 410 and the 305. I did it a couple times with the 360 and the 305, but never very often. It's hard to do to get enough crew to come and help, because when you're running two classes, I'm pretty much useless at helping get anything done on the cars. So for me to get enough crew help to do both things is usually a challenge. And then, everybody's willing to go to the races with you, but I might be a little bit overbearing or controlling a little bit. So I just, to trust, to get people to come that I trust.
Yep.
To where, because when I'm going back and forth between the two, it's tear-offs and pulling belts tight and getting out of one and getting back in the other. So there's really no time for me to do much except for maybe some quick words of what the car is doing. And it makes it hard to give a real good effort at both cars.
Yeah, I think Lee Goes did it one time this year at Huset's too, and he was absolutely drenched when he was done. He said he didn't get a break the whole night. He said it was just kind of awful. So he said, I don't think I'm ever going to do that again.
Yeah, I did it that one night at Huset's this summer, and ironically, that was our best night in the 410 car. I had run the B main in the 305, so I told everybody I'm just a B main driver, here. So that tells you how good our car was in the 410 that night. But it's really hard to do. I can sympathize with it.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
it's got to be such a change from the 410 to the 305. I mean, there, motor wise, there's hardly any comparison.
Yeah, the car. It's really a completely different car.
Yep.
Obviously the basics apply to both, and keeping things simple and whatnot. But just what you got to do to make them go fast, it's really two totally different driving techniques and styles to make them go. So, and you do it at a high level, or capable of winning in each one. So, I really believe though, if you're a good race car driver, you're just a good race car driver. You'll figure it out.
Yep.
Whatever you get into. So, no, there's a lot of good 305 race car drivers. I think if they got the opportunity to run 410s more often, there is a certain amount of reps that you need at it. It's no different than football or basketball.
Yeah.
It takes reps to get good at it. So I don't think anybody jumps in and just lights the world on fire the first time. So, but they can do it.
So if you had a 410 track closer to you, which one would you run more often? Which one is your favorite to run, the 410 or 305?
There's nothing like a 410 sprint car. I think we came up to Huset's a couple years ago and made hot laps, and I said we had to buy a couple more of these so we could do it more often. I wish like heck that we had a 410 track that was in our backyard that we could do it every week, because like I said, it takes reps at it. For me to get nights under my belt and experience, I got to go 3.5 hours to Huset's or 3.5 hours to Knoxville. So
Yeah.
that's the closest places for me to go, for a regular basis anyway.
Yeah. So then you obviously run Eagle quite often or regularly. I've never been to Eagle yet. Bud's been there a couple times, but how does Eagle compare to Huset's? Like track, banking, size, that sort of thing.
Huset's is, and we Google Maps it. I have to look this up on my phone, but Huset's is like or something like that, and Eagle is a .32, I believe.
Okay.
And Eagle, for like the 305 car, Eagle, in my opinion, is like our Knoxville for 305s. It's very important to keep your momentum up, keep your car straight. It's really, I think, about the perfect size for the 305 cars, because you get much bigger than that, you can tend to get strung out, and not a whole lot of racing happens. But Houston's, I think moving the 305s to the end of the night was a really good move, because they are still under horsepower sprint cars. So they need the track to get slick so that guys can get moving around and mix things up. So in the same way at Houston's, you got to be super aggressive on restarts to pass cars. They just get kind of wild every once in a while and tear things up. But I think I ain't any different than any other short track racing. So
No, that's every track you go to, just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're good at Houston's, you can be good at Eagle, and vice versa. And I think that's been proven. I mean, Dusty Ballinger, I don't know if Lee's been down to Eagle much, but there's a few guys from up north that have come down to Eagle, and I think some of our Eagle guys have come up there and showed very well.
Yeah.
So, I think if you're good at one, you can be good at the other.
Well, Shaylee Bade came up this year that one weekend, ran good, I thought, for never being at the track. So.
Yep. And Cole Vander did a really good job this year. I was, selfishly, I'm a Nebraska guy, so we were rooting Cole on, but, hey, Lee did a good job there on that title night. So,
Yeah.
no, it's good to see guys travel around and bounce around. That's the great thing about that 305 class. The rules are the same
Everywhere you go.
places, so,
Yep.
yeah, they can come here, and we can go up there, and we can do a lot of racing in.
Well, I think Lee's coming to Eagle, isn't he?
The way it sounds, we have Lee on after this, and maybe he'll actually finally confirm it. But I think
Rumor
right now
has
Dylan is driving the X car, and he has a spot reserved, and the guy right beside Dylan decided not to come or something. So I think Lee has a reserved spot right beside Dylan. So I think he's coming down, but we'll see. So.
Well, he's one of the fastest cars in the country right now, so he better come down.
He's been having a pretty good last few weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He has. He's been on a roll.
But we won't tell him that we get him on. We don't want his head to swell up or anything.
You got to be able to handle that.
Yeah, there you go. So tell us what it's like, though, when you come to Houston's. I mean, we're kind of sponsored by Houston's. Our podcast is. So what's your favorite part of coming up to Houston's?
I just like going places that are organized, move along, get us in, get us out. It's super competitive. My main reason for coming to Houston's was to run the 410 car. This year we kind of went into a 305 points battle for our ultimate goal for the year. So I needed some extra nights, so I had to kind of park my 410 just because of what I mentioned earlier, to give my 305 car a real honest go when we show up. But organized, push the show through, professional, like everything they do is top notch. That's for sure.
That's awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with you.
Sounds good.
All right.
This is what I tell people when Bud does the techie stuff, and I sit here and visit. Something to do.
Are you coming down to Eagle this weekend then?
I got to go. My son got a job out at Colorado State. He's a field turf, sports turf management guy. So he got the assistant job at Colorado State University, and we got to move him in. He's only, what is he? He's 21, I guess. So,
You're asking me how old your kid is.
know.
I can't tell you how old I am.
So
That's a big move.
I'm going to let you talk to Tobe real quick 1 second. It's crazy. Between school teams. All right, and we're back with Tyler Drueke. So, Eagle, this weekend, Labor Day weekend, there's like a crap ton of cars that come to the little old town of Eagle and Eagle Raceway. Tell us about it. You've been there, you've experienced it, you go all the time. So what's that like?
mean, selfishly for us, it's kind of like a home football game, or it's a home race for us. So I think we have an advantage. I ventured up there to North Dakota a few weeks ago, and it's tough to go into somebody else's backyard and show up, be competitive, and race for a win. So, selfishly, the biggest race of the year is in our backyard, and they get 100 cars there, and on Sunday night they'll pack the stands, and all the kids will get some glow sticks, and they'll turn the lights out, turn the music up, and hype it up and everything. And for just a weekly racer, that big show, that big boy feel that the guys like us we don't get by any other race. The Knoxville Nationals, the Houston's High Bank Nationals, they get all the hype to the drivers and stuff. Then just a regular guy doesn't really get that out often. So you can go and get that at Eagle.
Yeah. So for those of us that have never been down there, then it's 100 cars. It's a 3-night show, right?
Yep.
Do they run everybody all 3 nights, or do they split up and do qualifying on 2 nights like a Knoxville thing, or?
Nope. So they put 200 kills in the drawing or whatever, and roughly 100 guys show up. So if you draw in the top 100 on the first night, it's all a draw lineup for the heat races, and you have to win your heat race to get into the feature. So if there's 10 heat races, then they qualify 10 in through the heat races. Second place goes to the B, third to the C, fourth to the D, and so on.
Okay.
So your heat race is very important on your prelim night, on the first prelim night. And you win your heat race, you get in the A. They'll take the balance of the field out of the B that night. And it's the traditional alphabet. You can run the alphabet up all the way up to the A.
Sure.
So on the first prelim night, the top 9 finishers lock into the first 3 rows of Sunday night's starting field. They start 3 wide. There's 27 cars that start the race.
Ooh.
And everybody starts 3 wide. The first 9 starters come from that Friday prelim. If you drew in the top 100 on Friday, you're going to draw in the 101 to 200 range on Saturday, because you had your chance to start in the front of the heat race.
Okay.
That way, it kind of equals it out. If you don't draw good the first night,
Yeah.
you still have a chance to draw good the second night and start up front in your heat race. So then, the second night, the top 9 finishers, it's all the same format. The top 9 finishers there start 10th through 18th. In the feature on Sunday, and then they combine your point totals, and that's what seeds you for the alphabet on Sunday. And then they'll take the last 9 starters from the B main on Sunday. They'll transfer into the back of the A. And that's how they get their 27 car field, and it's 3 wide and 35 laps. Winner take it all.
Well, we might have to buy that IMCA TV to watch
He's
this,
dang right.
just to see the 3 wide
He's
start would
dang
be
right.
kind of fun.
So the spec is or the tech or spec or whatever you want to call it, that's really detailed too, right? So you get there Thursday and you pretty much just line up and go through, to make sure you're legal.
Yep. They check all the cars. They pull valve covers off, take springs, lift, all the major rules that, us at Eagle, we get it about every week. They'll check various things. They may not do valve lift or springs on every car, every week, but usually at least 1 out of the top 4 will get it. When you come to the Nationals, they run you all through the tech shed and do all that to everybody. So it's a real, just to keep everybody on a level playing field. We start the weekend that way. Each night, the top 9 finishers go to tech. If unfortunately you're 10th place, then you take your car to tech and you sit there and wait.
Oh, see if somebody gets DQ'd?
Then you have to go through tech. Yeah, so I don't think they've ever had to go to 11 before. I don't think they've ever had 2 guys get DQ'd on a prelim night, but it does happen from time to time. It's nothing blatant. It's just little things that slip through, and then they get nailed. So it's very anybody that's doing the race saver class, they know the rules. So it's very important that you make sure your car is legal before you show up, and keep it that way.
That's right.
Yeah, no cheating. There's no cheating in racing.
There's
Oh,
not supposed to be, but there will always be, one or two guys that like to push the limit. So
Oh, yeah.
that's not going to change.
The gray area, as we refer to that.
Yeah, you got it. So that's why we have tech guys.
Yep.
They need to earn their money too.
yeah, absolutely.
No matter how much or how little it is.
So now you've won this event before, right? Just one time, or have you won it more than once?
No, just one time a couple years ago. We were fortunate enough to have a fast enough car and get qualified in a good spot, and had a kind of a dramatic finish. So, but
Whoa! You can't leave us with a dramatic finish.
And
What
then
happened?
not tell us.
well, man, it's probably on Facebook or YouTube or something. But John Carney from Texas was leading the race. He had gotten by me about halfway through the race. We had a late restart, and for what my car was doing, I had to run a little bit different line than he did, and just a late restart, we got him moving around, and we came to the line. Got side by side off turn 4, and then we came off of 4 banging wheels and crossed the finish line. I think we won by like .028 or something like that.
Oh man! So did you know you had won right away or not?
Well, when I come off 4, I was on the bottom and he was on the outside, and I thought his momentum was carrying him by me. So it was kind of the old Days of Thunder, squeezing in the wall type of situation. And so I had to break his momentum and whatnot, and we banged wheels and crossed the line. I thought the whole time that I was in front, but you never really know, I guess. And then they didn't. I think everybody was watching the finish. Nobody lit the fireworks off. Usually when you cross the finish line, they light the fireworks off in the infield. Well, the fireworks didn't go off. So then we go through 1 and 2, and I didn't see the fireworks, and I was second guessing myself.
Was that the checkers or was that the white?
Yeah. So then I went down the back straightaway, and they lit the fireworks off, and I come back around, and 12 was at the top of the board. So it was pretty dramatic, that's a big race to me. That's a big race to any 305 racer. So, man, he let me get that close. I wasn't going to let it slip away, because you never know. You never know when that opportunity is going to come around again. I may never win that race ever again.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to let me get that close, I'm going to make sure I finish the deal.
Yeah.
or at least do everything in my power to control my own destiny or whatnot. So.
Okay, so now let's switch to the IMCA Race Saver national points. This is some tallied, and I have no idea how it's tallied, but you're currently leading that, and I don't think you've ever won that. But what is that, or how is that?
So you get 40 races, and they take your top 20 finishes out of your first 40 starts. So you can run more than 40 races, you just won't get national points.
Okay.
After your 40 starts. So that keeps it as an even playing field for everybody. So you can't just go out race everybody.
Yeah, so the guy that doesn't do anything but race just
race
can't
60
run everywhere.
times. Yep.
Yep. So each night you get 40 points for a win, 39 for second, 38 for third, and so on. A perfect score is 800. And then you get bonus points for track championships. So you only get one championship to count towards your bonus points. The max is 20, the minimum is 15, and it's based on average car count. So if the average car count was 17, you would get 17 bonus points.
Okay.
If it's over 20, they cap it at 20, and so on. So, yeah, we've been really close. I've lost it in the last month before. I kind of seen the writing on the wall a few years ago, and 2 months out, I realized that we weren't really in contention anymore. So, we've been chasing it for a while, and this is probably the closest, even with losing it in the last month. This is about the closest I've ever been to finishing the deal. So, we got a few more races left. The last points night is the final Sunday in September. So, and nobody gets points at all this weekend because the Race Saver Nationals are going on.
Okay.
There's no national points awarded anywhere in the country.
Okay.
So just because that is extra incentive get guys to come to Eagle because
Sure.
you're not outnumbered.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's not an outlaw race where you got to show up for points.
Oh, exactly.
Yep.
So, what? Just for curiosity's sake, quick a minute. We're switching gears again here, but like a 305, what we have an idea what a 410 costs, but what's an average 305 cost a guy nowadays?
Motor.
Motor, yeah.
Motor, I mean it's just like 410s. I mean there's a range, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if you want all brand new stuff, your quote unquote lower end 305 would be like 12.5, and I'm sure if you bought all the parts and put it together yourself, you could do it cheaper than that. But if you're going to an engine builder, your kind of average motor, that's what it's going to cost. And I would venture to say if you're going with the top of the line, best you can get, squeezing every ounce of performance you possibly could get out of it, you're in the neighborhood of probably 20 to 25,000.
Okay.
That's nothing more than the engine builder. He's doing a bunch of R&D, trying to squeeze every ounce of power out of it you could.
Sure.
The heads are the heads, and then they got the spring roll and the flat top cam and flat top pistons. So there's a lot of things that you're limited on what you can do. So it's really just being super detailed, and at a certain point, there's just nothing else. I mean, you can keep spending money on fancy stuff, but it's just not gonna. It's only gonna make so much power. It's just it is what it is.
You bet. So who are your sponsors?
My salesman and Cherney Enterprises, they're kind of responsible for pushing me towards running for the national championship this year. And then American Trailer Company, Drueke Trucking and Ranch, Zaz Farms. Matt Zaz owns the 305 motor that we run. King's Auto Supply, TD Signs and Graphics, Jim Bell, Double Z Express, Shaker's Oil, J&J Auto Racing, Speedway Motors Racing Engines, Alco Wheels, Midwest Racing Performance, Charles E. Sykes, and Gordon Electric. I know I'm missing a couple. You kind of put me on the spot here.
Got the car.
Hey, you mentioned a lot of them there, so that's really good. That's really good. But we'll take you through some rapid fire. If you think of any other, you can throw them on before we let you go here. So, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Cat or dog person?
Dog.
Do you have any other hobbies besides racing?
I like to go water skiing, go boating. Hanging out with my son and my wife. That's pretty much it.
Nothing wrong with any of that. So, how about a favorite movie?
I have three. There's only three movies as far as I'm concerned. There's Top Gun, 8 Seconds, and Days of Thunder.
Okay.
Those are all
That
pretty
covers
good.
them all, too. You got racing, rodeos, and airplanes. So,
Are you a snow or rain guy?
Can I choose either?
you can. Yeah, don't like any of it. That's fine.
Hopper. I pull a hopper trailer, so we need rain.
There you go.
We like to see the corn and beans grow.
Yep, you ain't got nothing to haul. You ain't got much to do. So,
I'm feeling good about this next question with Tyler.
okay. Good luck with that, bud. If you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you have to take along to listen to?
80s, 90s rock and roll.
Yeah! Bam! That's perfect. Everybody says country lately, so finally a rock and roll, and then it's 80s, 90s. That's even better. So,
I was, when you're in high school in the basketball locker room, I call it gangster music, but and I'm listening to AC/DC and Aerosmith, stuff like that. So I was kind of an outcast.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
We have a Mexican restaurant here that's in Nebraska City called El Portal that me and my wife like to go to.
There you go.
How about a favorite holiday?
Oh, probably 4th of July.
Super. What app on your phone do you use the most?
It's probably between weather, Facebook, Twitter, and sheets. So
Okay.
probably one of those four.
How many speeding tickets have you gotten in your lifetime?
I think I got one ticket and 4 or 5 warnings.
Hey,
That's pretty
that's really
impressive.
good. Of course, he's driving trucks, so
Yeah,
he
you
can't,
can't get too
speeding
many.
tickets.
Yeah. Well,
But-
ironically, I'm pretty sure the only ticket was in the truck. So
Yeah. What? That being said, though, what's the fastest you've ever driven on the highway or been in the passenger seat where you haven't gotten caught?
I think I was 19, and my mom was with me, and we were in my dad's Camaro, and we were doing 150.
That's now I got two favorite moms because Christopher Trom's mom too was with him when he was going down the highway.
She was yelling at me the whole time. My uncle passed us in his Charger.
Oh.
You know, I had to race him, so. You know,
So was she hollering for you to go faster to catch him, or for you to slow your ass down?
oh no, I was getting yelled at to slow down the whole time.
Oh.
So, what's your go-to drink, or what do you like to drink, whether it's alcoholic or not? It don't matter.
I drink Busch Light beer and Mountain Dew Zero.
There you go.
I've never tried a Mountain Dew Zero yet.
There have I.
I'm
Last.
trying to keep my weight down, so I had to eliminate all the calories I can.
Last one for you. If money was no object, is there a certain car or pickup or anything that you've always wished you could have owned?
A J&J sprint car with a 410 engine in it, and I'd take 3 or 4 of them.
There you go.
Looking like a true racer right there.
Oh, well, we wish you the best of luck this weekend. You know, it sounds like it's going to be a blast, and the weather looks like it's going to cooperate, other than it's going to be hotter and hot. But wish you the best this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep, thank you. Take care.
You too. Have a good night.
All right. That's all there is to it. All right. Hoagie's Garage. Yep, in case you didn't know, Tobe, yep, I'm doing all the intros and endings by myself. It's just been a kind of a crazy day for both of us. Tobe kind of found out some bad news today, so we're just not about himself, just, you know, just some personal stuff that was within the family. So he's going, taking care of that, and I'm taking care of all the intros and endings this week. So, but Tyler Drueke, what a great podcast that was. Find out, you know, his story, him racing 305s, 410s, and then also figuring, you know, all this stuff with the Nationals that's coming up this weekend, and how everything works, you know, how you get the first, the crazy thing is they start that last race 3 wide. That seems insane to me. If you've been to Eagle, it's a little wider than Huset's, but it's not much wider than Huset's, and they start 3 wide. That is insane, and they also start 27 cars. So I'm looking forward to that, watching this weekend. I know I'm got to move my son into Fort Collins, Colorado this weekend, but I am definitely going to be watching on, I believe it's IMCA TV. I think that's the streaming. And I wish I was down in Eagle. I wish I was up here at Huset's watching the Fulkins Brothers Bull Haulers Brawl. So just a ton of great racing this weekend. Wish everybody the best of luck, and have a great day.